Next we are going to see question number 20 from Indian Catechism of Catholic Church. Question number 20 is, how did the first parents forfeit their original state? The answer is, they forfeited it by trusting the devil and eating the forbidden fruit, which was prohibited by the Almighty. The explanation is, when God decided to test humans in two ways to see who truly loved Him, He planned a test where He would say, "Do not do this," and test them directly. In this manner, God intended to carry out the test in the Garden of Eden, where both He and Satan could interact with humans. According to this plan, since there was a possibility to test Adam and Eve directly without subjecting them to suffering, He created them in a state of blessedness in the Garden of Eden. Satan observed how they lived in obedience to God's words, and this displeased him. He approached God and asked for permission to test them. God, pretending not to know, asked Satan, "Why would you test them? They are living in obedience to me." Satan replied, "Lord, you should not make conclusions too hastily. If you had tested them by saying, 'Eat this,' you could have immediately concluded whether they obeyed you or not. But since you have tested them by saying, 'Do not eat this,' you need to wait. Only when they eat will it be revealed whether they truly do not love you. Until then, they are neither loving you nor rejecting you. Hence, no conclusion should be made at this point." God then asked, "If that's the case, how can I know if Adam and Eve truly love me?" Satan responded, "I have a plan. I will not appear as Satan, but in disguise, and I will deceive Eve by speaking sweet words, convincing her that eating the forbidden fruit is in her best interest, making her believe that she will gain wisdom and honor by eating it." God questioned, "How can I judge fairly if you deceive them? Isn't deception unjust?" To this, Satan replied, "Lord, you seem to forget your plan. You wish to know whether humans truly love you or are pretending to love you, right? To bring out the truth, I must deceive them, for only through deceit can the truth be revealed. It would only be unjust if you deceive them as God. But since I am Satan, deceit is my duty. If I appear as Satan, they will recognize me and reject my words. Thus, you will not be able to discern whether they rejected the fruit because of love for you or fear of you. Therefore, the deceitful way I follow is the most appropriate for your plan. So, allow me to act according to my scheme. Besides, you have already condemned me and my fellow demons to hell, so why worry now?" God, appearing to agree with Satan's reasoning, and said, "Fine, go ahead and test Adam and Eve according to your plan and reveal their true intentions." Satan then approached Eve in the form of a serpent and tempted her with sweet words, saying, "If you eat this fruit, you will gain wisdom, and you will be as honorable as God." Eve, listening to Satan's words, was deceived and, in her delusion, revealed that her true love was not for God but for wisdom and honor, which she desired more than God's command. She plucked the forbidden fruit and ate it. After this, she similarly tested her husband, Adam, and revealed that his love for God was also lacking, as Adam valued his love for Eve more. Since both of them expressed that they did not truly love God, He decided to expel them from the Garden of Eden and test their descendants on earth. Just as He tested Adam and Eve in Eden by saying, "Do not eat the fruit that brings death," He would test their descendants on earth by commanding them to eat the food that brings life, the Eucharist. Thus, Adam and Eve were sent to earth no longer in a spiritual form but in a physical form and subjected to trials and suffering. If Adam and Eve had overcome Satan, there would have been no need to send them to earth. All of humanity would have lived in the Garden of Eden, and only those who eventually ate the fruit that brought death would be expelled. As a result, there would have been no need for God, the Creator, to come to earth as the Redeemer and offer Himself as the food that brings life. However, since Adam and Eve, representing all of humanity, rejected God, He desired that at least some of their descendants should express their love for Him. And for those who did, He wanted to give them the status of being His children. To fulfill this desire, He sent His Son to earth to suffer on the cross and redeem humanity. So, when we think about how Adam and Eve lost their life in Garden of Eden, we can conclude that they forfeited it by trusting Satan and eating the forbidden fruit as commanded by the Almighty.